Tawa. I'll say tell us what the crime of is tell us what is the crime of Joseph Amwako for suspending him. Joseph Amwako management in a letter to Kotoko management. I'm say Abranten why ding and I'm suspending no. Since some of here India and you hear clarification kakra until omo de krata and so and I'm kanswa.
My idea.
My idea. Boom. Asante Kotoko forward George Fege discloses his unalloyed love and how he miss Prosper Nate Ogum. I said that was say Prosper Nate football. Chesa yes ye Chesa coach Chesa ye mo ball pa dia Prosper Nate Ogum.
I dey.
Ti ono so e and so ababe hwimama and so no abeto ho no. Nanayo Amponsa blames supporters for the recent poor performance of the club. I say, we are not Pamu Zerbo, Yakopa Zerbo, someone is Watamote. Someone is Watamote. After the more dear air coso, born on a bar, Enfano. Nam nature, the chance of boy, Yampamunu, Yapamuni, someone who dear see. Now, come we in one face who I was a Kotoko squad, good enough to represent a country in Africa. Tiafan say, be a Africa, Afcona, Ebianca, country be players are unbeaten my faculty squad ni na dia kwhim ombekwa ko bon kama e dia ma wo mo enso so ye kakra eno so
me da say o supporters oblemu supporters did you say that wo ne kasa ni mana wo ne na di nkomo foforo ba wi
say ne kasa ni mu no
o kan say but what I listen it be different from the internet
o see ebi ente se bi so se no.
No, what I listen is different from what you are saying. I'm only me no nyet you me pe say whether he said supporters the man in Pamu.
Or say a calls on a supporters calls for Zebo sacking no. And ama poor performance no aba.
Na calls for Zebo sacking no.
Say supporters in the case Zebo nya de ntomu nyina di. And almost
a lot of people said it.
A lot of people know ya,
including media people.
But where he's talking to the supporters.
Or Kasano.
When they specifically addressing the supporters.
Okay, I know addressing supporters.
Specifically, this on the voting. Specifically, he's talking about.
Is it in the statement? Because I'm doing some work on it in Timmy.
Say you can deduce.
Okay, so you are deducing. Okay, Matthias here. And I'm busy me.
Time man.
The voice na me tie and the omutro area. No, I'm say calls to sack Zerbo. For the crowd, he has also blamed officiating and calls to sack Zerbo.
And of course, no, it was loud from the supporters' end. I just
wanted to know that.
And the course was loud. Supporters were more loud.
That's not what we are saying. Did he say supporters in the car say Pamo? Because I thought
the call for sacking of Zerbo.
No, it's a deduction now, yeah.
Because one must be a media for and I'm board for.
So we are deduction. We are deduction. Why you deduction?
Yeah.
But he did not say that.
Of course,
you are allowed to make your deduction. But he did not say supporters in the cast on sack.
Yeah.
No,
calls to sack Zerbo.
From where? From who?
A lot of people, including media men, including supporters.
So the supporters can home.
So I'm saying and that.
The supporters were louder.
When you are telling us, okay, I said calls from calls. He did not say the supporters can say. Why you did actually? But I needed certain clarification. Say no one for no one can supporters, but I would now hear supporters. So that's it. And I'm busy
because that's the cause. Yeah, supporters.
Yes, sir. I think we were talking about Madrid, Manchester City, and Ubia Pino how no who game no. And I remember say me free say, and I strongly believe say City have reached the level where IS Champions League. But for Pep Guardiola and Coniums, and the Drew Baby are affected team. No.
Of
course, Drew Baby, Jichirehone over confidence.
Coaches now come
too knowing. Or do honor. No, you too knowing.
But for Pep Guardiola. And I'm saying, say semi-final. Coach no maka. From team no go bat for Nibia.
Oh, that's why you no go to semi-finals or Champions League.
And I'm bat for saying.
But no dear no. And I'm emphasis and say near my obvious that you know. Sometimes you are not your coach. Who your football person know? Who your coach? But ultimately, I know say, Senka go behind the scenes.
But Guardiola many capacity to challenge Guardiola's decision.
And nobody is challenging him. Coaching. Nobody is challenging him. We are only discussing Nema if say obvious. Mistakes that will be at me. Mr. Otuo. Mistake will be at me mistake. And that is what Enwa make wants him. Looking at the team and normally coach Real Madrid, Enwa. And looking at almost exploit in the Champions League this particular year. I think the team is ready. Even more than ready to win the Champions League. He only needs to make sure Obe put the things right. And I was talking about how my Manchester City defended these days. So now he defends with a typical defenders, not makeshift. Also makeshift a costume, but here you see a typical defender, and you know that is the basic responsibility is to defend. And you saw Enwa, even when the game we do by Madrid for Ebama getting to the latter stages of the game, now Madrid ever game no. Who said the defense were resolute, were strong, were making sure they will not give that opportunities. And then I imagine I'm in football. Says Obi Kase, Obi a defender, and I will be ugly football. Then I'm because my understanding is football. They say you need a strategy that will make you win the day. And then they deploy that. Manchester City deployed that. Real Madrid deployed that. Because when the game started, the first half, getting to that Madrid ratio goal, it was a game. Manchester City dominated possession, everything. Madrid, almost everybody was at their defensive area, protecting post, making sure that they will not allow that. So, in a bid to do that, you commit your opponent more men, and you take advantage of that. And as a result of that, Madrid didn't go through Vinicius Junior. So, in football, Madrid scored the goal against the run of play because it was Manchester City who was playing, and Madrid ever shared that goal. But so she gave no power to say, City best goal
against the run of play.
Of course, yes. Who's the City best goal? City best goal in the standard.
Oh, Kasana me, but my enemy pay emphasis. The bay
emphasis.
Yeah, my boom for.
Not a go to say, oh, I'm
the bay idea say, because what's na ha catch say board. Ubia or crown fast of the bonnet.
That's it. And
I've coaches the Bio, or quite almost dinner, how more the crown before so of course, I arrange a run of play. No,
oh, your football.
You should disagree.
No, your football language.
But disagree with us.
Whether I disagree
what is
or
run of
I
play?
accept it.
Mr. Jamedia Banner maybe genetic and I mistake myself. Now we turn it in run of play.
What kind of football?
Okay.
Disagree. I did not invent that rough buy.
Disagree with them. Disagree with them.
So it was a game. Now City played well, very well. Played well because now me free say coach, analyzing mistakes be our year.
Okay.
And it worked for him. But then I was also saying the first leg was going to be very difficult, but I decided to win. So Ubusa me say I want to talk about qualification. It's still open because Madrid as a club almost defy every analysis as far as Champions League is concerned. Almost defy every coach's strategy when they are in their element. So you will still give them that chance when they go to Etihad. But I still believe so a City for City to lose. This game is for City to lose.
I didn't try.
Because I think the team this year fortified all aspects of the team. I think now he's gotten the men that are ready to do the job for him. So if City should lose this game, honorably, but I will call on Pep Guardiola to do the honorable thing.
We'll lose semi-final.
So we'll lose that game now. I be consistent with
it.
It doesn't matter.
And Semuna here, Pew. So only Real Madrid about Champions League semi-final where you were free to resign.
Sanya Madrid nkwa you know.
Why be no more ma obi no ma resign.
You are talking about Pep Guardiola. Oh, the be am no can you.
Okay, Martin.
I am talking about Pep Guardiola. I said I know what asem do who said that.
No, ya me busa say coach is the way we are seeing eh. Ebinu ma gidin kura chen na omo semi fan obe mfie de oni. Pa ko jom ba wi ase besi na yi omo ngo obi da. No obi o waduru hon resign na obi onuru hon tra wo dia.
Sadia no be consistent say when you get there with a team that ukuta with the material that we have untimi enkwa e chesa de untimi no na strike can say me
do resign
ebia there will be a time ebia City Club Champions League ebia na anya Pep Guardiola so ko basa na me ya strike ya say hono enye wono a but as far as me Captain Siasia ya akomia boatin sechi me concern no be free say this game Pep Guardiola must make it a win and proceed to the final. So he should do the honorable thing by tendering.
But then and friend honorable thing. Cause on resign. Men friend honorable. Go ni tip them for no be brain ru.
Unti. Me use that word no.
Okay.
I do the jam no music.
All right. Ya akomia sechi Dennis Efri Holland Canada na baye. Na Guji
boss.
Me konje pian ko kakra me mo abana. O first question me busa ansan mako. Rikene Jibo.
Why come
and Canada he find a udru here no na me musa say Dennis Ontario
Toronto yeah
Toronto
yes
I they see Ontario Toronto Gucci boss akwaba me nyo take kakra Madrid ne City wena
baby my Madrid your team a do Champions League stage where I don't think say or my uncle will be as analysis in form
or matter analysis
or my head Man City being now form number ball I mean and I was very impressed with Man City the own boy but in some aspect of the game which means Madrid were in control they were largely in control how they set up I do not come who saw a left back so a midfielder or attacking position you could find him everywhere on the field what I say but Man City say almost all form. But in a tie like this, you can't say it's over because it's Madrid you are dealing with. But on that day, something strange will happen. Now, before you realize, no more into final. And Madrid, the team about Champions League. If you say just Yabota in areas and what I can say.
I know one analysis.
No, I don't honestly think so. But it's a year. I think a lot of people expect Pep Guardiola will win the Champions League. Expectation. I mean, the last time was what 2011, I think. 2011 in London, Wembley Stadium. We caught so many DFN in near moments. We caught semi-final, maybe agonizing a little bit. Bayern Munich there, Man City there. To the side of final, Chelsea share no. Amount for fans the Champions League. And the team Angie be there. Ultimate Coben once and what's could be. So a lot of people have the expectation. We share Europe says here. People honestly think they have the best squad. He's one of the best coaches, or he is the best coach. And to a baby or this city drew, so to me, eliminating Real Madrid free more. Maybe then this year will be his year, will be the Champions League. And of course, they are on quest to be treble to win the Premier League, which is almost done. Obeji Champions League, now FA Cup, and also as a Man United fan, the
FA Cup is almost done just like the Premier League.
Oh, of course, and they say a cup final. Also, cup final is different from the league. Cup final they are different from the league,
and it's playing against the biggest. Arguably the biggest club in
England. And then arguable.
Okay.
It, you know, I think that
Manchester cannot be the biggest club in England. League na yebono. Manchester are just saying 20. Liverpool are just saying 19. Into Manchester lead Liverpool just by one.
Now the biggest yes me will be channel.
Yeah.
You will be channel. So be channel one day Grammy channel penny.
Okay. Well,
that's all.
A pass what we use to know as the measuring rod. Here we are. Ni akobe be member. E di agro.
One friend member.
Anya Champions League no.
Champions want to do the member.
And anya member na
who decided the
champion no.
Who decided it's a name decided by somebody.
Decided
a name. I can decide to call it a different name. Only be na 2 Europa League.
Say no. Member ho na member di agro.
Why na
friend. Ho no mo a. Liverpool did double of their wage no.
Obi na champion.
But for they na define champion. That silence na ha me. But we are, man. Dennis, I bet you Manchester United the biggest. The biggest. Name was why it is.
Manchester cannot be the biggest. Liverpool is the biggest club in England. Finish.
I don't want to buy this way, mommy. But that's Yanko.
Tama. The biggest club football.
Miss why I am here.
Champions League me boy.
Miss why I am here.
Was only here. Where yes after
no. I know about league. I
was a league no club.
I work as a Remian on the free way here.
League no what the two.
Gucci. Ma come anymore.
I'm Antonio in front.
Yanko.
Also na nim nyom to pa na otonyom wo Sabi Kuro Kitikiti Stadium. Look, the biggest clubs have the biggest things. And Liverpool Stadium capacity. Capacity. So you can use one indicator. Yeah, Pesika wouldn't be as Gavushi on Kahon. Supporters or on couch say adie bia no good people don't raise
it's Ganuria so the Bobo Park
no but I'm saying that BB now contributed to your size BB now contributed to your size yeah
after
yeah
but after getting all Sikana in your man,
why don't you do
at the end of the day, no, you bring it on the pitch.
No, but say the glass is half full, me back. Sikana the bobo. Oh, some you do some results.
Charlie, we are near my baby.
Obuka $1 million. Obuka 500,000 pounds. You got 500,000 pounds. I got the champions. You got 1 million now.
Oh, they say, who got the champions? Just the biggest.
But Dennis. Yeah, we know another subject for another. Na yenye Champions League.
Manchester for any abri top for the top for no Champions League no power.
Oh, that is
no. Which is so umienko.
Top 4 na ade ade no. Ya jitu mu say the elite status say obiawo. And if say be a kruma ya kazi schools ni ade the elite schools.
Jale me
we say what be sebeba. Then say what be so what the elite school.
You that to us. I didn't see.
But I mean, Man City are in a form of their life. I think to win a treble, we analyze personal members who may be because I had Manchester United and England. Team can see a penalty, team can see.
Okay.
What I say, it me personally, and no, I'll be saying we declare maybe I'm free, but say I want the mayor bias in any analysis. Fine, make my sign post say bias, but I'm saying that baby Omadru now. No. Their last final stage is timer. If they want to break the glass shield, no, because almost become big clubs. No one. This is the time for them to prove. Say, look, baby, I agree. You bet me you marry the film. You bet me league. You bet me FA Cup, no, and become one of the best teams in England. Say, ne, baby, I know you free bar project almost starting in 2010. Everything now, it will reach its apex. No man will say now they've accomplished everything. And yes, idea. Time biano, they were near menos. Obey no was at Tiapa. But I think now the mental strength needs to be proven. Say Ushama did not be you free media. Then they are ready for everything. Yeah.
That's it. You yanko na if you have a me won komo bia marriage.
Was it Saturday na me call airport na Michia no. We inspector. Ti Michia na didn't come and also Ochiao. Inspector Adani Johnson. Inspector Benya Odini ya. Also no ultimate program na we were washroom na no person dey TV raw.
Wow.
Yes, no hear from washroom. And the Inspector Danny Johnson na petrol for omonam airport kwan so na we can one the petrol team ni nyina no ye che on. Since also hear from Asokoremampong.
Oh fine. Officer, yes sir.
Inspector Danny Johnson dey that's powerful.
And wabo police din dey ma mentia 2IC to the regional crime officer. Hey, now police no am on post abeti o poku dey so here poku ye 2IC2
yeah poku
ai
I say 2IC
na ni rank no wa we na utia
poku ye
enyem say o yem pass mo na no me ko no me ne ka se mo se me ma no den den de obeloko me na me edin ti me se eta na no o ka se mo se o ka sa airport run about now nti officer ye chia na rank na me nkai
Okay.
nti me kaya wa be kai na de ama na de ama no jibo nti ye nhwe
So Enra, you have a very good game, and some of the games are when your opportunity here. Now, OTS Champions League is the biggest
level no so. But no but teams be brain team mo.
A club will be a open brain
team go.
Onya bi no bo. You too. Who say Enra na make a story which you say. Champions League na yebo no. You too. Ubetimi abo league, ubetimi ayade. Champions League is a different competition. Until ubetimi ay masters in your league, it be a Premier League, it be a Serie A, it be a ne hwan. Na say you can the grand masters of the competition. Maybe our league je na wajeje no. Eba Champions League a story ni different na. Ehho na abeti ase, the entire you say Champions League is different from your league. Enra me kan ofia say City currently are the best team in the Premier League. But game na ye born and ye Champions League. City your favorite. Madrid. Any competition in Bochen City. Bema boda, me makasa de we am say. Me jitu me say Manchester City as a football club at a certain point will win the Champions League. Me de minim it can be this season, it can be next season, it can even be in 10 years time. But nyoma kakra me hu Champions League ne ho ne say club bi o person GBB am so to gise wo koya wo mu usu ese competition ne tietew ansa no wabedide eno na me bi so na no pese minim se City sa yaw na ye ka no o ma go through that process ni bia na in the history of the Champions League
playing the finals. At least you have gone to Omabo semi-final since wait time Pellegrini. Saabisi ne. So Omako.
Yes.
Omako.
Enra where the last 20 minutes approach. Compared to last season semi-final, no, the last 20 minutes approach of Manchester City. The same team. Time at Real Madrid. Ebe show mu goals na City afrim no. Na Toni Kroos ye na from the bench. Na Luka Modric ye na from the bench. Camavinga, Rodrigo, Valverde. No mo start so more pile pressure on Real Madrid. Omo ne do mo free bench buy. Ebe change game ne dem Real Madrid eventually omo yi City film ko final against Liverpool mo share. Enra time Real Madrid decided say game ne home ne but we need that advantage they be call return leg no. So what difference between last season and this season there na? Who's the City mentality necessary? Say so most the art of defending. Say in some moments on the pitch, Esa was so far. Enra Ruben Diaz square clearance be. Do to Oyerepa when I'm far my phone. Then quickly I rushed to last season there no. Was this Kabaya na here cross na Rodrigo na na baba born share obe head share no. Na Ruben Diaz ya o. But Enra the time Vinicius here cross no. On fa won anybody or dey ko kan ball no. Say ye ni ti, say ye na chi, say ye na nine. The most important thing is say me making sure say my body be touch ball na enya mensa. I be whistle for penalty. Last season the story was different. And to going through these painful moments no, to develop a mentality. It's Enra we City how am we defended last season and this is the defended Enra no and say abem. Omo get used.
One main difference was that say some Madrid a bit more respect. On say Pep Guardiola in his usual possession omo lose ball now say their numbers e were chire hu ni say enkrofo but yenka Vinicius on the day. Hey, man, Vinicius he did. Na binu mu nyanya players here. E binu mu nya bi. Scouts na ngrofo wa na say dey.
Say social status elements now they are told.
Hey, akwana bobo. Where? Every game. Or the ball be correct. And on the man left, come on. Is it can be go on the left? Man tia say how who say so bobo no to sa space wa Camavinga be kwa gofa oh akwana there akwana
Okay, Vinicius started so
Akwane
or started so when I started to make Vinicius as they na can I any end product.
Yeah, finishing.
So what them chance. Near best is an argument say, but it's not all about entertainment. Entertainment should give results. Or yeah, a whole project now we see who is too. Or yeah, one player, Florentino Perez, have a lot of trust in him. He feels say Real Madrid they move from baby Omujina say still dominating European football. Real Madrid they need a Sony be brave Vinicius. And they were in the last 2 seasons no. And Real Madrid any in a rush to go for Kylian Mbappe. Say free pan and Mbappe beba. Say Real Madrid best spending heavy money on Kylian Mbappe. They will not do it because of Vinicius Junior. They say the Nigerian assistant. And now me catch us say now me dey to Thomas Boachon. Me so na me to me Thomas Boachon. The bia no only defender ko. Bo say ball kura ni one defender sha da kotia ne sa nyoma no. Eti maybe na me nya adaje ni ko no ka chem se hwe. Ono ball no no gina park so a. Otimi sheda. Hwe ni Jesse time. Okay. O boy we player. Na we player am na attack me ame. Eti oye sa nyoma ni nyina no you concentration free ball no so. Obesa so obufu. Eti o kono so am to wan hwe o de obufu na egu akotwa no. Eventually be result in bibia e be ko ne club ni favor wan home de be hyew. Sa dwene na Vinicius so ye. Eti why this season in the La Liga almost defenders o attack ni nyom na ko. Be se ball no ne bam to obedi watem o park ne so. No odi watem no confuse. Enu ahwe. So last season ball na o ma o de koteka e we Etihad oba na nantem ni rua Fernandinho nantem no. The strength you moving the ball on byline. So for Man City team now, the obetimi na running on the line Kyle Walker. But Emra o changing approach. It is the dribble ni nyina ye cutting dribble. On fan ko line so na Kyle Walker na komrika. But dane ni behema time Kyle Walker mra no the ball no the quarter dada. It is Vinicius Junior there we to say dem kan na no. Players na enaka kray di enimi afeba akumienu miensa omutimeje Ballon d'Or man yesi say waduru ho. And I say I was even surprised Divania was named as man of the match. I think either Vinicius Junior, Rodri or Camavinga. Be a Camavinga technical mistakes or in TB between I say a Costa Real Madrid TB in the but Rodri Vinicius Junior it is a man of the match in the dan. Sorry, player of the match in the branch of Kevin De Bruyne. Bema Wada so
and do the coso na okay yenko
so something I've realized about Carlo Ancelotti in Real Madrid they say Real Madrid is a Champions League omo man I say it's more important to them than any other competition.
As the omo dey be say omo bot said dey omo dey. Ya dey na ekoje.
Oko Real Madrid La Liga. Yes wa dey no kojo. Asa omo dey no bi beje from.
E no omo fama.
E no omo fama.
Sa no kese Man U ya omo nya na hard.
Looking at all
we draw pa.
Aside bibia omo strong bench o. When you combine
Pep anye change o.
Yes. One change.
Hey.
Me
nko sesa hwe na asem bia betome.
Me nim say that is why I said
the changes the cool no na no.
Yeah, to unfo ni ma won say. Even the time at Barcelona in away games especially knockout stages no. Na Barcelona enye dominant. But their strength was their home. Yeah. It will make sure say scoreline obenya na way no. Enye scoreline be dey their man home. So for 2011 everyone here can one say UEFA described that team as the best squad that Makwa win the Champions based on style and resource. See they Champions League trophy no. When is Arsenal show 2-1.
Yeah.
And almost Arsenal 3-1. Omene Milan board draw. And on Beshe Milan will come new. So after this season Champions League now, check Pep the knockout stage results. Leipzig draw. No Beshe no. Obabo Bayern first leg no Ashe no. Return leg no akwa draw. It's an approach towards away games. Kurano asasa. and then necessarily going to those games and win, but get results ube take advantage of your home. Now the bell eliminate two opponents and an ebono.
Okay.
Bayern pedigree, history, status of their stadium near Etihad. Etihad is now building that history in the background. I think the team know what Ukuta Bayern and Ukuta Barca. Now Barca ban on about 1-1. Barca ban is a 90,000 capacity stadium. Sa history now Barca won. And then no more match than Man City needs to.
But he's done it.
No, but
with this team.
And I mean, anytime I say,
the pedigree of Madrid.
Yeah, so Ukuta
Okuta
Barca, and on the Madrid Kobo 1-1, and on Moba Camp Nou, it's a completely different game. Even say Bayern, boss a Bayern call Okrano, a Barca and Real Madrid in free move. And again, he's coming to play against another cathedral, which is Real Madrid. And Etihad no, and yes, stadium, if you say Okuta, especially almost supporters are going. So Mukuta sa Aaron and say, okay, any away cranya, me the born befia, make my baby you with him.
Okay. Matthias, you want to ask you now?
The Denisi can say, but me make us about approach. And yet the tradition of the club, especially in the Champions League. But how are all approaching away games? Say, or make sure say, answer na omre fino. Results no different away, but it will not put in the side any so much difficulties. And a game number 1 next week, any form of win, City are qualifying to the Champions League final. Someone will say them, it's or try say so then the side in advantageous position.
Yeah.
Unlike previous years, no quite away Ukraina. My memory the Guardiola with that total football. Let me control games. Maybe a baba names to Yakwashano. Now football no boy in Yakwa. So to them chances. And they were not even interested in creating a lot of chances.
Yeah.
By controlling the game to frustrate Real Madrid. Yeah. And then Real Madrid should decide to say, if so, you better press him hard near hit him on the brakes. Yeah. Especially using Vini Jr. It's me full say
that Real Madrid hard, you know.
No, Real Madrid is say. Hey, yes, so no washebu. So the Okoba washebu mi. Na Dennis wo ho.
So one kind of radio. Also one kind of radio.
But almost the coach is in the football court no wow. Today football has become too technical. Only I'm in Haaland. You see Pep was enjoying the only Rudiger, you know. Because if you realize the centre backs of Madrid were not moving.
Yeah.
So we know now.
They were not moving. Centre back De Bruyne a good time no.
The game plan was Ancelotti didn't you know. Oko 1v1 with Haaland, Rudiger Haaland. And Oko 1v1 Valverde and Kevin De Bruyne. Se City bobo na their last supply to Kevin to Erling Haaland De Bruyne. On say Bernardo Silva, they just love playing the ball.
Yeah.
So to the mention I say, but the Bruyne then is all about creativity. Oji, I know you have space for the ball, but I strike and I it's when you stop these two, it will stop me, you know. After the more mark and any ball no. It is the supplies to demand a trasso to Alan the trasso. Now for money mobile. It is also I think say
okay.
And right there. Coaches need me say
that's right.
If football you want to win, you need top level coaches and find only players are assemble.
Level no true.
Yes. But now but Champions League is Champions League.
Oh level.
So Okoba e beka na match no.
Yeah, hey.
That's not see similar measure. Send the Wakan radio to see.
There be one more conditions. Because Yanya Madrid there na.
Waka send Argentina World Cup. Na Napoli League. No. So I can be me to Wakan.
Guys will say omo per Madrid mum.
Also magic.
I want us to face Madrid.
Also magic.
Okay. I want us to face.
Because Yanya Madrid na kan.
You am penny no more. So what me say?
Amu no mudi omochi.
Na class.
Amu no mbetu no mabo. Mu share Man City be time final.
Class so mo team discipline Real Madrid wo.
Yes say Leao ni o.
Un say
ba Inter Milan for no ma ba form.
Oh, I'm for
you team no.
Oh, you team. That's all now. I'm a fan of Italian football.
Okay.
Well, when
you know, you baby.
I will take program be any say.
Kuvuni baby.
I'm a champion. Me a fan of Italian.
And you know, ni baby.
But I say,
and no ni baby.
Oh, no.
You don't care who wins.
Oh, Italy will qualify to the final.
But
I didn't pass. I was all the home for us. But I already oversaw this.
Oh, of course.
So I was saying Inter will make a better representation in the final.
Yeah.
It's
And one thing I Italy for the best opportunity. And you be here.
Some office or I'm say, me boy me the obi kwaje kapa ohu. Na say obi do what the boy. E obi kwaje kapa ohu.
and who way similar.
O dey see it here. Tell the term June baba. So tell me chana say. Obi kwaje kapa ohu.
Okay.
We nya abotre. Term June be so.
My enya adwuma we go fi obeto aso. Na okay say minim voice no call round. Na say na producers no tro no say Asante Kotoko CEO Nana Amponza has made we say a controversial statement admitting or claiming his side has quality than almost every team in Ghana and can represent an African country. He has also blamed officiating and calls to sack Zerbo for the club's recent performance. And Omoba Ebe Kotiye. Also, many people do not understand football. Asserting that youth players cannot succeed at Kotoko is a fallacy. Also, claims that Kotoko's performance is under par this season is false. The results have not been consistent due to so many factors. When you do a sober reflection, you will see factors affecting the team. There's no team in Ghana that has quality than Kotoko. Kotoko's current team can represent an African country, and we are attributed to Nana Yao Amponsa. But your voice, no quick one. So this is voice, no, okay, ain't it?
The football, na kasa no be bredi e chiro mo ntiase. Wahu, na Kotoko nkwala mo. Mbappe we di sen. Jude Bellingham we di sen. Michael Owen si no we di sen. World Pele oti no we di sen. Abedi Pele si no we di sen. You will promo analyze Gopon best onto the scene, beating everybody. Na Kotoko team this season, the top 9 of the league. The only teams that beat you in the top 9 are Gold Stars and the Hearts. Yasho Bia, Yashe Diana, Yashe Mediama, Yashe Bichim, and Wembium. Obia, but the results have not been consistent due to so many factors. Obi Timika, when I Kotoko players, no mundu Kotoko, upa for player by player. Team DNA Ghana ha, upa player by player, or qualities in Kotoko. Upa form national team material. One day I called senior players in the team. See a meeting. Before we say I was shocked. Because those players, 1 to 11, we called 10 then. We representing countries be Africa. Shedan lad, onye Kotoko material. Asari, onye Kotoko material. E Japan no kobo chano onye Kotoko material. Mubarak, onye Kotoko material. Sheriff no kobo chan, onye Kotoko material. Justice Blay, onye Kotoko material. Richard Bodu Agadas, onye Kotoko material. Rashid Norte, onye Kotoko material. Infegi, onye Kotoko material. Mukwala, onye Kotoko material. Isaac Opon, onye Kotoko material. Nicolas Mensah, after 6 matches, no watch 3 goals. Onye Kotoko material. Rocky Amina, SS boy, but her bobo, honestly, Kotoko material. Results Kobonia, I want same Pia Nipaka. But when you sit down and do a sober reflection, you see factors are affecting. And football, no, football, a very difficult thing to manage. When you butre, now one Shishaniama, well, be Juriago. And no more year coaching in your man coaching attacking your man corner. They say, me to some coach as them. But look at the results now, and look at the results then. Before referee said, you could be any. I'm going to 2 strange penalties. Yeah, still your board draw. Yeah, remember, last season, your referee was banned. Your Cocarella, you hear. So far, we see outside 18. Your Cofaber 218, about penalty. And many more. Our referee suffered for it. But people decide to forget about that and blame the coach, blame players. And it gets to a point that players, they give up. And football gets to a point to me and give you up now saying at once. It takes time. To never be a question. And a question teams be brave. Look at League Arebo. Last season, as of the time I said coaching because Bidiama Beshe home. Last season, the same time, near lose 4 matches at home. In fact, I share back to back. Even City's Beshe, Chelsea Beshe. That same period, near lose 4 at home. Obianka said, Empamu coach. But the very first game we lost at home against Mediama, it's a coaching call. Okay, teams and Kayashomo, or Shomo 5-1, or Shomo for the same coach, Oshaka Lions 4-0, Kumasio, or Shekotoku 5-1. I see, and yet, into football, no dear, because football and politics is the only professional who be a zoning. No matter how you study and what you know, no, when it comes to football and politics, be a expert, you know.
All right, so we Kotoko Chief Executive Sanana Amponsa or Nona Ekasa. I think this was at the May 9. In Central for Eban or Wana or Chichim. There have been several commentaries and and the Chief Executive Officer of Kotoko is on the line. Nana Yamponsa. Chief Otienka.
Timer.
Okay. Okay. Yes, we are Joso.
I hope so.
Usually, and como say I won't tell you, but we are grateful. Okay. We are grateful because na ebihian chemu kakra because say May 9 ho baby na nsentwe for be na ukasa nsema ukai. But looks like minim semu na ho ma amamfo anase sen na tiao but sen na o patch nsem sen na wo kano na yenyina yentibi this time around.
I would have made sure I would not make sure Asante Kotoko Chitafu nyina make sure with you for nyina. I would have wished Ube Fano maybe issue by issue based on what I said because for me it was a little clear. But before then, let me speak concerning May 9th, for which was the main purpose of my call. Sometimes in Central for and I said, yeah, you are going. Your money may be outshining the most important occasion for which a person is invited. I was invited there to commemorate May 9th anniversary, 22 years of May 9th, which is very dear to my heart and that of the entire football fraternity. Now, I only decided to speak about May 9th and how important it is for us to learn from the lessons of May 9th. The most important question was, have we learned anything from May 9th? And I said, of course, we have learned a lot from May 9th, but as to whether we are practicing what we have learned is also another matter. If we say never again, never again, never again, but it seems never again, a cliche, a casa, our actions, but the action speaks louder than words. If we were 22 years in May 9th disaster and and every year I can say there has been hooliganism at one or two centers in our league. So you see research into every season since 2001, May 9th now. I'm sure every season there's been a center at the Trasem Akoso. Metihe as a club official. Then you'll be a new Makwa said you abusing me. Whether it's verbal abuse, people hurl insult at you, insult you, just because you did agro. And I said the boxers cry now, they embrace because they understand it's a sport. How much more football? I said, but one will be crying a foul. Because boxing, you are allowed to hit. But football, you are not allowed to, use any brutal or excessive force. Now boxers they may embrace it. I'm almost supporters embrace. Now you're in football. You ain't me and yes, sir. Like I said, baby, na day. Aka, I will see it. Until I even went for it, I had to say, I would wish that May 9th near sea, you know, you be not a home for any pictures. Any home inscriptions be not all football venues. Yaya banners I can see. Edi sane manabo boho until uremua you see the damage such atrocities can cause, the damage such hooliganism can cause before obeying them, so that it will be a guiding principle for you, to be a sort of guiding for you as you enter. Say, hey, it could be a transfer man. I say, Yanti of once, no, near 2 years new. I don't know, nothing in phony boy. Into me come now, some comportment. I was some chance a football, no, a win, lose or draw. There is no single team in this world that wins every game. And you know, Mama said the Union Motoring, you know, I'm a bush for Yako. Okay, I'm in form of currency.
Okay.
Then going forward, you know, it should be a film.
Okay.
He gave voice now, boy. You know? The question was, Diana. I'm a Kotoko, you will be away.
Okay.
And factors be brave. I'm a force affecting this season. Football administration or anything in this life, if you plan it and it does not go, the results does not reflect the plan that has gone into it, everybody will deem it as failure. As part of your commentary, it is said, some are saying, some may say, this season has not been bad. Of course, I didn't say that. I mean, anybody following the league will know that Kotoko this season hasn't been good.
Okay.
It hasn't been good because we do not have the results that we wished for, and we are not where we hope to be. Now, the number of factors, some I will go into details, some I may not go into details for other things.
Right.
Instead, the acquire a far so your coach about last season or last season, it was a shocker to management. As you are aware, the incident happened during a board meeting. And after that, you all know the issues that ensued after that. It took us time for us to even get a new coach to come in.
Okay.
New coach, you know, your league, you know, the first, because of the calendar, the first competitive match we play always a African Champions League or Confederation. That's the first competitive match we play as a Ghanaian club. Meanwhile, others would have played their leagues, maybe 5-10 matches into the league, gain momentum, gain their rhythm before they come into Africa. But to Ghana teams are the first game they about Africa. And the players, Diogo, for instance, a lot of our players, it was the first time they were playing at Baba Yara. Their very first game at Baba Yara was an African game. Anyhow difficult it is for players to be settled in Kotoko. The players are about Kotoko. If the first season it took them second season and almost picking. And you know, even though that game was a home game, you know, it wasn't home to a lot of the players that are coming. It was their first time at the venue. First time, unless we free different club in the bar and our ball as an away player. You know, see pitch, pitch, but they were supposed to play. But of course, that is football. Into such a situation is a factor that affected us. Again, Coach Biafra, he needs to. It takes time for him to know his players, know the capabilities of players and all that. We have a challenge of players having to leave. Sebi, we've been torn up. The there are players we practically begged. So, come on, what those 2 African qualifying matches, my answer now, maybe but they were not patient to wait. There were some I don't want to use the word feigned injuries, but said so much proud. I mean, David has spoken about Mbella, for instance, and so I can repeat it. Mbella did not play a single preseason match. Yet to Kwankra Kobe. Also were proud. And the doctors, at the point I was even arguing with the doctors, I don't think the boy in the proud. Maybe he just doesn't want to play. I'm sure we're proud. They check this. No, I scan. On the day, me because now yes, offer the abandoned embassy. We kept telling him, so what do you want offer by a budget? There was no offer on the table. There were speculations all over the media. And you see, when the media speculates, the club will actually record so a player we club will actually not any player on the head. Of course, offer another multinational. At that time, not one official offer. But then it's eventually, you offer now, a conference caller. We say, almost say, Ube medical. No, be away for where that passing medical. Or see, me okay, me passing. That was when I got confirmation that he just didn't want to play. And this was a player on any $2,000 at the time. We out by offering $25,000. You, how do you compete? I'll share a secret about Mbella today. I practically begged him because I knew FC Zurich were interested in him. But they have said they will only sign him in January. So I was even begging him, say, so when I will turn out to get qualified into the group stage of the Champions League, maybe January, no. We'll stop grab a cost room or value because I'm an European team will come for you. And I mentioned the team to him. Once year, I'll go Egypt. Zurich came again, and the Egyptian club no ball more money. And I'm on the free band. David and Bella have train or Boa Kotoka. People go European Egypt no ball. So we lost players. Yeah. A player like Dalad Ibrahim, and I'll say this on authority. Dalad had decided he was leaving Kotoko to go to Hilal. You can ask him. The Panichawa, I mean, a man, the Kofa Puatibaye. It was when Hilal lost interest and Sana Orton wanted to stay. That's a Kofa Puati cried there. Abadida. But Nema me catch her and say, we are Butrena who stay here. We are Kotoko number 1. Who say a chan number 1? Who send a World Cup a call? If you go to Hilal, there is no guarantee say number 1 or Hilal. You automatically lose your chance slot, and if you don't become number 1 in Hilal, it's very difficult to go to World Cup. And so that must stay, all these things came to pass. And say, sorry, I need the top players. The offer banner players say, oh, stay here. Oh, yeah, you can force a horse to the riverside. You cannot force it to drink. Because almost said your move for me, Ubusa at Pantamahene when he was doing Kotoko. I was in his house when Inkum's father and mother and their pastor came there. He said, offer me for Romania, Bentondia, my uncle. I had to step in and also speak to convince the boy there. Who stay out of Papa Baba. No, but I follow you. So, and yet, percent, you have top players. Now, let's come to issues of officiating. By the time about 4 or 5 referees were banned in the first round, the reasons for which they were banned, we can pick it match by match. Haas versus Kotoko. Kotoko versus Haas for Baba Yara. We also what happened. It was supposed to be a win for Kotoko. We would have gotten 2 more points. We all saw the controversial 2 penalties. Am I a ball draw? 2 points lost there. Yeko Karela, you baller. say a protocol foul, say a Carella foul, if he outside the 18 penalty, we lost the match. And yet 1 point lost there, assuming we were drawing that match. And then 1 point. That's 5 points. Yaba has away. We saw the offside goal at Ekotia. We have done that match. That is 1 point. To you. We saw a game we were winning, how an offside goal ended up going against us. If we had even drawn that game, and yet 1 point. There are several who put it together. At least in the first round, we lost about 10 points. And then you see a lose. Baby, I was say, would even 6 points carry a point to one? Wouldn't we be second on the table? Would the baby, that's say. Would the 8 points carry a point to one? Wouldn't we be top of the table? And we forgot about all these things and said, coach and uncle. As management, I'll be very honest with you, we're not ready to let the coach go because we believe, he had made it very difficult for teams to create chances against us. There are things people do not consider. Last season, we were winning the league. But anybody that does an analysis of our games realize that teams were creating a lot of chances against us. They were just not scoring. Against Dreams FC in Kumasi, they could have beaten us in the first half. There were several times teams were creating a lot of chances. Car Lions in there. But this time we realized that it was difficult for teams to create chances against us. But however, we were missing a lot of scoring chances. At the end of the first round, the analysis of video analysis I did by you can say no. Now you creating 84 clear goal scoring chances. 84. And yet chance be near you expect say we there. Or better 84. Out of 84 no, near Shemum say 22. So conversion was a problem. And I also understand football and your chances in now create our better. That is why football we don't get cricket scores all the time. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1. Anything as officiating be anko na nka game a win 1-0 be 1-1 na e affect you. Game nka win 2-1 e be 2-2 a problem because football, of course, as fans we expect say the team will create 10 chances and score 10. But at the highest level, we see it. And now we have Real Madrid City. They created chances, but at the end of the game, it was 1-1. And these are high-level players you expect to convert chances. But that is the nature of football. I repeat, at the time, it was our first defeat at Baba Yara. It was our first defeat this season. And I think it's still our only defeat, if I'm not mistaken, at Baba Yara. Meanwhile, last season, by that time, we lost 4 home matches. We lost twice to King Faisal. Bekum Chelsea Beshe. Lagos City is Beshe. But we still went ahead to win the league. I can say on authority, since Coach Double left, officiating has been very good. Who say even fans are now officials complaining about officiating the way since Coach Double left. And it doesn't mean say the officiating here excuses. We all witnessed it, and there were referees who were punished for these activities. But you see, managerial change, it affects a lot of things. A new coach will come in midstream. He had to bring in his own philosophy, his own style of playing. And this season injuries last season. There have been times that we have struggled as a team to raise 20-man squad to go and play. And only doctors kasa. These injuries, happen with training grounds. So all these injuries, SCO matches. It means the players were not getting enough protection, especially in away games. You know Rashid Norte. How Karela, he was butchered. No protection. Yehu Morrison, I think it was in Sometymer Otuo-Acheampong, Tian and Nanso. And several other injuries. And football, you can have one star player, Opera, it affects your team. If you look at the back four, for instance, we have been very inconsistent in selection. Every time you're back four, sir. But any team that is winning championship, mostly will back four, and you goalkeeper the entire season. But every match, team knows every match. So when people say, "Oh, you partner Kotoko," you say it's true because the materials keep changing. Now, ABC Kotoko inequality. You see other teams. Teams here, and they have about draw me and somewhere you home. In the last 3 home matches, I was see you winning. At all costs, I was seeing you winning those 3 matches. You winning those 3 matches, and you have 6 points in the count one. And here the second. King Fans are near about draw home. King Fans are more than here with table also. Because Tamale City near the ball draw home. Table no more than and a Gold Stars.
Yeah.
In terms of those players, about those teams, some more quality saying we can pick Kotoko players one after the other and see whether they have the quality to play in our league or not. You can do the analysis yourselves. Danlad Ibrahim, our Chan number 1, under 23 number 1. Aqua World Cup about on your Kotoko material. But you get people who say Danlad in your Kotoko material because you are sharing me and Sao Brekum. Some errors happen in your Kotoko material. Asari, we've all seen Asari's performance this season. Last season, Asari kept 13 clean sheets when they go, Accra Lions. And Kahuni a share Uncle Fire no buy. Okay, you will see his performance. I pity somebody like Poate, the goalkeeper. Very good goalkeeper. Obaye, the only time only opportunity or ball friendly match of Fakado Pride, only opportunity. But he's been patient. You're right back at Japan. So Kocha maybe. We all saw his performance there. At the time there was a player, everyone was agitating see Uncle Fanumra of the Randolph from Karela. Only Japan Yan the coach. He was starting ahead of Japan. At the point he was taken out for Japan to become the number 1 there. We all witnessed it. These are facts. Sheriff, Danlad was number 1 at the Chan. Sheriff, Chan actually of a boy. So these 3 players, I'm going to go to material now. How people have said, Agadas should have been in that Chan team. You've not seen his performances. One of the Chan coaches came out, that is the Olympics coach, came out to say, Lamptey, he feels Lamptey shouldn't be called ahead of some Black Star players. We saw Sheriff Mohammed last season, the midfielder, before Onya injury. Yehu Stevie Mukwala about Uganda national team. Yehu a fit in Fege last season. You need pressure supporters they might have to bring more last time because they feel his Kotoko material. In the end, more where Chira only a consider goes, and more in your Kotoko material. Yehu Mubarak with his experience. Even defenders like Ajimani Apel, people forget easily sometimes. Last season, 2 of our most difficult games last season, I winning and trophy, we had the center back pairing of Ajimani and Apel. Midiama. Apel scored there. Apel nim Ajimani Kobo Midiama. away near we need 2-0 no. And after score there, your bar as go the game that crowned us. After only Ajimane boy, okay, I'm Ajimane then HA go. But yes, so many kotoko material. Isaac Opong, we also an injury. Isaac Opong, everybody saw him. Nicolas Mensah, a new legal issue here by everybody saw him. After 6 matches, no, I shared 3. When you are recruiting, what do you mean recruiting? You need youngsters to also blend. Kotoko youth team, yes, to see any no. Yeah, youth team, say baby to make promote players into the senior side. Into say, or China youth team legend, near promote 6 players to the senior side. You better so munya kotoko material. They need to be part of the team to learn. And Kolani Adio Mobile, I don't think someone go more any massive. We have seen Shadrakadu play. We've seen Rocky Jamina play. We have seen Nicolas Osebo play on the left at the left back position. Intino, I have a track. Niema Pia Kwetian, Niema Bebre, internally, externally. And I sit back and it's painful to watch. But football sanity here.
Okay.
This season we have seen Chelsea, we have seen Liverpool. House of Folk won the league 2 seasons ago. Last season they were in 6th position. Yeah, by first season, yeah, but me, I say that our performance in the first season for me is better than last year in winning league. And I say that because first season you play all our matches away from home. And still play second, just 4 points away from the top. Last season, we won the league with 6 points clear, 11 points clear, 19 points clear of our arch rivals. But at the point, we thought it was still possible to win the league. But injuries are higher, Abemubu, and a whole lot. And you know, I don't know what is wrong with what I said, really.
Okay. And that's na mami mbusa we. What can be about Zebo? So my question is, if you were not convinced, say why would anybody?
I don't know. Quite a difficult feedback.
I thought okay, until you film. Is it better now? Hello. But
managing.
Okay. Now, mami, we na mi busa say, now can be about Zebo. Say as a calls no for you to get him to go and a man a bus. I'm saying that if as management you were not convinced, why would you allow
make
this to
decision.
happen? Yeah.
Okay. We did not bow to just calls for him to go. No. I think that as management, we knew where the club was, we knew what he was capable of. But we picked up intel, strong intel. Some people had plotted or planned to go and attack him at the training grounds, similar to what happened with Matic and House of Folk. And so and we thought that such a thing happening would not be in the best interest of the club, especially with the image of the club.
Okay.
When we engaged him, he also said he had some conversations with his embassy here, and they had reiterated same. So we felt that no. Sir, remember, you pay a coach war, training grounds, now he to defame the brand here. If he's fallen out of love, we should just save ourselves that trouble. If you ask any management member, we were not happy with him going because we felt that we still had a chance in the league with him. Okay, we felt that we still had a chance with him, and we felt that time you cannot bring any outsider coach to come and make any massive impact.
Okay.
if officiating continued the way it was then. To be very honest with you.
Okay. All right. Let's also ask this. The only time what reference the supporters I won't come was with Mo Alasan. Why Mona normally behind the calls to get Zerbo out? Was it the supporters or who were making those calls?
Oh, there were a majority of supporters who wanted him out. I remember after the match against Accra, Suffolk in Accra, I had to step in, or otherwise would have been attacked. But even some persons I know, but it's not necessary now. And
okay.
There were let me open up to you. There was a point there were calls from even a section of the board, and I'll say this on authority that either the coach goes or the CEO goes.
Okay.
This is on record.
Okay.
It does a coach in the back and a CEO in the back. That is on record.
All right.
It's a fact.
All right. Again, I want us to clarify certain things. I did back and go for what people have said about you. And they said you said there was going to be you and your management. They said you were going to get them a youth team.
We are
going to get them a youth team. Now, what has happened to the youth aspect of what the developing players who take over from these players? Got youth issues with Southampton and others. Now, what's he saying? What's going on?
Okay, so there are things I can disclose. There are things I have to be cautious.
Okay.
Recently, we will say a recruitment for the youth team. One of the challenges of the youth team recruitment is accommodation. We anticipated it. So when we did the recruitment, we recruited initial. We selected. I shouldn't say recruited. We selected initial 55 players. 55. We realized that a lot of them don't stay in and around the Kumasi area.
Yeah. So
to bring them together, you need accommodation. So we're looking for accommodation options. We also, as management, had another option which clubs in England do, what we call the host family system, where if you are timer, Otibeng, Adakoja, and Kumasi, see your timer. Akolawe, you found a Kotoko youth team. Say, maybe you free no one, want to be free home, but you say, or better now on chain. No boy youth team, no name, mono. Bosumi Bia, and Yabama or Abia 500 C's and 1,000 Ghana C's. What the better what the best share Akolano, say the DMU fee, the Jerry Ninemuni idea.
Okay.
Because Abia can say a current diamond, Abia. Now, a very difficult. At the same time, we're also looking at another option of renting a whole apartment block to accommodate them. So that was the next step we were supposed to take before Zebo had to go, and therefore Ghazali had to step in. And when you say youth team, Ghazali and Oye.
Okay.
But Southampton, I don't have to say this. I'm not permitted to say this, but recently had a rep come to Adakojachi.
Okay.
After the recruitment, their plans, on ground, to get the youth team properly done.
Okay.
To a level where some of these partners are willing to even invest in it. But also, we'll be to me find it can be a game without certain parameters being set properly.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The next one, Sonny, Nano, who said the IGF, you are now generating a lot of revenue as a football club or income. But do maybe about 2 months salary my. So if you are doing so well, why is it that sometimes Yana and could they pay any idea delay no? No, then man baza.
Okay. A couple of factors. The most consistent revenue source in any football club gate proceeds. Okay. So when you do your financial budgeting, in terms of revenue, gate proceeds takes a chunk of it. And I'll say this, we had anticipated in our budget, say, at least every month, about 2 home matches we should be able to net 200,000 cedis in the 2 matches.
Okay.
But it's not been forthcoming. There have been times it's been about 3 matches and I've been 50,000 Ghana cedis. Again, a lot of our revenue comes from sponsorship, and our sponsors pay quarterly. We have quarterly arrangements with them, which means every 3 months, you take a chunk. So, for instance, say sponsor number 1 million Ghana cedis a year. Every 3 months, we give 250,000. Now, in recent economic challenges there about some of the sponsors, the debt restructuring, they affect you. I can see that we have one sponsor through this debt restructure. Lose about 112 million Ghana cedis.
Wow.
It is a time also now this canal. Near catching Abutra. I also in Abutra.
Okay.
If you were a sponsor amount 250,000 and also more 500,000. When say 500,000 bit your wages for the whole month. Oko and also 500 no mean yamau. Minimum 200 now. 200 no three players be now in Jeppy. Go there, who call himself for 5 and no abitua will be our staff. Oko and no say I want to intino. Meso see me chairman workers, but me also pressure on to the 200. When you got the 200 mainly because me no work contract, the other one 500. Obeji. Oji I want to make say, oh me chiabi. Na me jaibi. Because we yes I obenya problem. There also we nya abotre. Now we nya nyina ansa na wachia. I've been hearing talk say the players got 6 months. It been see that during my time as CEO. Me ba protocol. Now your outstanding salaries of 3 months. That's what I came to meet. It was June. It was May, June, July. 0.7. Oh no, July. I think June, July, and August. Early August. So yeah, it was 3 months. There was a sign-on fee. Outstanding of 1.45 million Ghana cedis. What am I saying? At this time, also because sign-on fee, because you hear kind of a bit clear on sign-on fees now. If you want to go the same sign-on fee way now, it be no problem. And again, I've explained over and over why we went for this salary structure. Okay. Salary structure, we talk about your salary level. I can say we are paying times 3 or 4 what we came to meet. Well, now here's the idea with me. How I've been trained, and I don't think say a fair say play a salary became and any worker salary became. But in my job as a football agent previously, representing and as a sports law practitioner, representing players and coaches, I tell you all over the world these things happen. But a tradio player who bought Division 1 and about Division 2, I would get 500 cedis a month. Okay. Now you do about 500 cedis, you have to make 5 months, then my. Now you do about 4,000 cedis a month, 3,000 cedis a month. Now the lowest paid player is 2,500, which is the SSS boy. Now the salary delay 1 month and now 2 months. Now what you I find it intriguing because some of these players, your players are about 2 or 1. Normally 600 cedis. This 100 cedis, you multiply by 12 months, I 7,200. I'm feeling now, what is 7,200? Now, sign off in the if you don't be fine. Now, you are banning about 7,000 cedis a month. It means you can't count back enough and now general summing. It's a delay 1 or 2 months. Now, I say, Nuntino, you are coming more. Can you say you? Salary in a delay cry back. Now, resource now, economy. Can we get it back? No. And I say this on authority that there has never been a time, say, you the players car, me make your management car. Management member. Is it possible, say, you the players car? No make your David can make your Imaka, no make your Thomas car. It can't happen.
Okay.
So the players are always put first. And as you can raise, I go for if you say running a football club, there's so much that goes into it. Yeah? Medicals alone, a car you bought on medicals. After every match, MRIs are here, That's the one we have good doctors, Small knock, MRI. Small knock a player no another clubber. How many eyes better to so no more check rano. Your bomb match we MRI 4, 5, MRI 3, 4. Nina is car. Even the tapes crown we use to get and mechanic watch our member show. Tapes somebody take keke. Again, hotels are team no done now, no. You quite aware. But people say, I don't know pampa players, your office I hotel. And you see, a team like Chelsea will not say performance in Koye this season, hotel level of players in the Dano, almost so.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember being in Barcelona Channel 4, the next match, the players go to hotel level no work from. That is not professionalism.
Yeah.
You need to maintain standards and raise standards. Yeah. And the players now could be a dance actually. Hotels are more than a born and a ketwa, a Gani or Mudi, almost to a packed lunch, packed breakfast. Something like bus, yeah, a buy. We have to pay 20% of that bus.
Okay.
20% meant about 50,000 cedis every month for 1 year. Bus now the maintenance alone. And yeah, because you have 1 year warranty with insurance in terms of maintenance and idea. But after that, you need to go and you need to pay. To change oil of that bus alone is 11,000 cedis plus.
Hey.
Now, no, there was a little issue with air conditioning. You see, that alone was about 39,000 cedis.
Yeah, maintenance.
Maintenance is another thing. And a lot of near mass who are why you are generator room, a blow, you show toy, I grad see a blow, you need to go and spend money. Well, a lot of unforeseen circumstances are a GEC cano. They catch our embassy sometimes. Thomas Crowd, they
yeah. But you see, with all this, Oteminka, and say, sir, board will now, yes, I was with me. Wow, sponsors near the day. Nanka and penny for it to say, Yamia, the when you're moody, sense, and you say no. Cause all no mokoka, it is a umu, Ushia or moi. I hope Brasil also no do Cassania, I don't vama. And I'm a name in a be good tea. Time
I wouldn't. I think the interview now is good for other dimensions, but I need to speak. You're saying Nanaya Muadia or arrogant. Minya nipa baako sei ema no nka se na ya ye me sei intina me se omuade me time asana me tie no se meka se sometime at say ya me si nyina so adeko a sometime aye me tia me se o sei.
Okay.
But meka se timer se bi o kronfo mintimi nkyere adeko no baako a time abo na ma fa it's called any kind of give a dog a bad name and hang it.
Okay.
Mathieu will be a radio so I think anaya omra form muadie but I need to far phone frame me on me kasa twice no me kasa o me wiase me buy not once na match no any disrespect and obeti match no any disrespect and you see we move board for you can speak to them individually. We have a board of 12. I don't think you get more than 3 saying me muadie. I don't think you get more than 3. But that is fair enough. Yes. Osayare Homeda. Yes, who are born. Nya mi kum ni pabo but yes you are born as Indian now what's up for.
Na sa treno sa treno. Sa treno di entina ombekasa.
I don't think it's a topic for today.
Okay.
I don't want to go into
it's true. It's true. Okay, Mami move to.
Never disrespected anybody.
Okay.
Obey me, akwala opinion time. I mean, arrogance will never form part of my life. Me, and I say this today, and I've said it on the entire program before. I lost 2 brothers. Me 2 senior brothers. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Your firstborn, who really PhD ne, Okodaya, dear Chian, sorry. You know, and not here than I sorry the next day. And I don't take it for granted.
Okay.
And I say every time, say, Nipa, at the time of your death, Unya ya naka bodown for no namono, Unya na homeno, Eddie Ashadi 5-10 minutes. Into Untimin Peja Betty. There is not a single person now who bet me a person and I be disrespecting.
Okay.
And I mean, send I ever can create actually penny. I ain't in them. But you see, Takola can we are in a system where sometimes Takola can create, say penny no creating in your da. You ever find the save you more dear.
Okay.
But me not penny any intro. I will tell you the truth as penny. When my father was dying, he was 76 years old. I'm a kind of correct me, Papa. Or also kind of correct me. If any father figure in my life, you know, me kind of correct actually. You may not like the truth, and I'll say it respectfully. And there is not a single person who bet me I can say, Nana ya amponsa, odi matem say, and no can say, and no can say.
Okay.
Never. But of course. And somebody can find the pound, they say, baby.
All right. I'm saying, you're caught beyond what we asked for. Now, and it's sometimes very important to clarify some of these things. But, and son, and Mami Musa, probably that could be the last one or last but one. Now, on the bar says, so the Fabu sense or Sika, or man, you ya, what about could to our mom accident. Na discussions no me so TB. Say I could say are you still going to
honestly man TB but I don't know where I know so free buy.
Okay, they buy and say almost say more statement be na mo ka some who board for and see if it's possible for you to help the accident victims. Na eno na koba say me no wan go fa kotoko sika bia ankoma accident for no Emma and also kofa asem foforo ba say Fabu sensors na mo de buy scan cry the baby amon fa mo nsanka na enu bi na mo kwa akofa de akohwe accident for no chiremu kakra kire yen Fabu sensors arrangement any accident for no mo ade fa wo pese mo ye fa omo
I would have wished young call because
okay.
When you grant interviews, now grant interviews.
Okay.
Say ni muadia. Now bekebia ni beba ko daneno. I cannot send ya omopeno. And I cannot have control over that.
Okay.
Assembly she will no more and ya odia. Inya to abontin a e obi adia. E ka say e ko consult board.
Okay.
That was the statement that the abontin.
That's right.
You number out make us a consult board. Na say ni say na eden akusi. And it's not the first time I consult board on this matter.
Okay.
We have consulted board on this matter at least 3 or 4 times.
All right.
Already. And it has always been in our annual reports.
Okay.
But as I said, and as we said as a management in our statement, you see a consultation. Based on the directives, the three who are banning us against to everybody. I wouldn't want to go.
All right, I will respect that position. The board and the but and Kofoso, there are messages about Osman Ibrahim. Say Upraya say Moyi Moniamano. Are you in a position to tell us something? And I say, and also another issue.
I would have spoken about it, okay? But I didn't take it dimension. I was a Krumua, and I see the Paya, you're doing young choir, we are beyond us. And let everybody name accusing me of tribalism, and kind of saying neglect and certain discrimination against Zongo and all. I was like, who will sit down and write such a thing without even looking at the history since I've been around? She team she play a beer baby free. She almost pra. Then she almost my surgery. My show mo. Player, I'm a person players once. There are players that pra. We have to beg them to go and see doctors. Osman, who talk to a doctor? The number of times I'm in an Osman conference call. I am betting. What do you say? Player, who pra. You were direct to doctors in my mouth. Say fast coin with so. That's a man and say that you say. There are some players who believe in traditional medicine, for instance. Oh, Mupra, Dr. Chen is on you say no, so you're not there. And then you aggravated that. Oba on your but nobody can say, I remember back you neglecting any player. Say one fact the prescribed route to know so not at the end of child. You cannot wake up Sometymer. So we have to say Sabio problem be also quite surgery. Who do mean times you can now go back and not to say maybe surgery? There are processes you go through, and you have to even be given a surgery date. Say at the end, you can make a try way. We are ABR, we are not say a far, you may not need a surgery. We are now far now being a surgery.
Okay.
Okay, what's so follow? Look at the player like Mubarak. Recently had a situation. They said, okay, I also a surgery, but I will see a share. Also, your A, B, C, D. Or you will not improve or by surgery. It is up to you, the player, to follow that. Player who have a man and idea way so. And the player in question now who can. If I see a renting apartment, I'm a player. This one player, I said to authority, he has refused to stay in apartments. The renting players.
So on now. Sometimes we need you to be there so we can monitor you. Oko loan and Oko Pride. Okay, Pfizer. Where the records, it seems he played through an injury that he was not supposed to play through. Oba, the doctor surprised said, I'm going to be so many a year so. There have been times he's not been cooperative. Doctors will call me and complain. I'll call him. He will say this, his word against the doctor's word and all that. But I know players. What am I saying? And this is a boy I've spoken to almost every other day. He calls me almost every day. But there are processes. I was at the end of the day. So if anybody gets up to accuse and I actually letter, and maybe is discriminating against these Zongo boys. Hey, okay. Sheriff for any Zongo boy. Okay.
Raul for buy on Bobo my head. I see I said, oh, you're Zongo boy. Oh, yeah, maybe I in your say.
Okay. But Yana, Massa, an opportunity be now. Okay. 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 All right.
Team officials now. Some of these boys, near my own money, I can't, but
okay.
I won't hear.
Okay.
And you must say, you live back. Maybe one on Tiasia. Don't go accusing people and saying things anymore.
Okay. Finally, a branch and later by some suspended say or engage supporters on social media near day. Say as an said the democratic culture team no aba form ubintimi enche na adwene eno fine idea na be kana afia de asiwo.
There's nothing like democratic culture aba form ekobia or rules and regulations.
Okay.
Your code of conduct. Say who breach code of conduct now. We take an initial action. Then we call you and give you a fair hearing. Make sure the natural justice works. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Debbie, you know you man that sobre.
Yeah.
I've practiced sports law for years. Sebi, I understand natural justice.
Yeah.
But never be Koswa. And yes, I always say, Ubu or Becca Semocrano or Kakeko, I look ready, man, the same boy. A money member asked him, I have a chat with you and a money member. Ask him, say, play and paying or see it in the country man. He couldn't say. Well, and I was so sure, and this is a boy, Ubreka said, but this is a boy. This management has protected him, even at certain times we shouldn't have. You are aware? That go to point problem to Konya in a na same accusation. Everybody said, and I am Ponsa Cotton, Eddie, Nasia. Anka, may sure said, as not some quick to repair, because we need to protect him. And so the Akolaya Bonnet, that's so correct now. And I said, Uko school now, you're born to teach about board. So I don't get the teacher time. They need to be disciplined.
Okay. See you, Asante Kotokonana. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for your time. Say finally, Kabibichi or supporters, no, Kagakrache supporters, no, Kabibichi supporters, no, supporters,
for the support thus far.
Okay.
Without them, we couldn't have achieved what we've achieved. We wouldn't be where we are. We are sorry for the disappointment this season, but I keep saying that in times like this, we need your support more. In times like this, we need your support because you see a friend in need is a friend indeed. The best from say, "Omunya ye ho abotire, na omunya players ne ho abotire." Yeah. Me can't say it say we do obusheni akọ hospital. Na doctor dey na ko theater. Na we pia be catch us obusheni na den. Sebi waka baby
couldn't make it.
She knew a doctor na catch the obusheni na obeti ase that moment. Doctor no eh ne yawo. As a professional no the next be obesan surgery.
Yeah.
Because I was so surgery.
Yeah.
But who are obusheni e wo no on that. The only time I was smiling, the only say,
Okay.
So it's like a football fan. I was match at Ankoye. Well, Lusu. He knew how come, but the person is in pain. The who administrator, no, and now player, and now coach, you know. One person is a doctor, no. But the next you beside them.
That's right.
It took on our Korea. For the fan, I say akola, I say why the wawa akola for Friday. Amano. When the real thing we look at her, then the niaji. Say wawa for Amano. In the end, I am fans and I say.
Okay.
Why? Yes, fans administrated. Yes, your massy.
Edasipi, Nariam Ponsai, Chief Executive Officer of Asante Kotoko. You're engaging on a wide range of issues. Just some 10 minutes penny or the chair said, to me. Koko Sansem Numu, but producers no get all of them for us. Naturally, we dissect them. Then it's where 1 minute to meet back na whatever. We've had the other one can be crowd. Ubi go TV. Ugo and yeah. Then it's young quiet and kaka.
Me were starting posture. And I think say obi a young person I ambitious be probably it will be your posture say you crew my entire young people leading big organizations. Your entire mass opportunity no. It takes a check. And the attackers uswa but elsewhere who say omomota leading organizations I no more
young people.
They are young people.
My example of when we went to Germany Bundesliga.
Yeah.
28, 32, 33.
Because
mostly furnish them. No
mostly by most of the by the educational background by 1918 Nandipan were university. By 18 years Nandipan were university. Wayene Juma working experience and the way our world needs econo. We need to give opportunity me by my pusher Nana Yobia baby Awadruno. I admire and I look up to him. Or you need to obey mistakes. But conversation I've taken a lot of it. I don't think say maybe the mechanic say there's need set time piano, not by him, by areas baby or more PR machinery for them to explain things to the supporters.
Yeah.
They need a proper running PR machinery for people to understand what is going on. Not because the oil, because a normal church more time out here, because time I say there are calls. They say, okay, who are these things coming from? I say, oh, majority of the supporters.
Yeah.
And maybe I mean, fans say Juma Penny be or Kasa Omo or Kasa. So Kasa as a Kotoko CEO, you are talking to Kotoko supporters, and the assumption is that will be a Otuo-Acheampong. You assume is a Kotoko supporter. So time I Kasa now, you are speaking to Oyerepa listeners, and you assume that will be all gonna be at Oyerepa. That's the assumption you make. Now I will assume that majority of people in Ghana are Kotoko fans, and maybe they need a proper running PR machinery. Position and what they are doing for people to understand, or at least majority of the people to understand the context and the background they are coming from.
That's it. Yeah, why Bavo.
That's quite a lengthy one and good one at that. Two things in a striking me. One, the way and manner Ogum left shocked the management, and I think say a bit here, a bit dissecting Kakrasenia with the can and then the call for is a bullhead, I think say I clear say it came from the supporters largely, if you like.
He also mentioned other people.
Oh yes, until I'm used to the word largely and say in terms of the board
supporters in Kwana, there might be other groups.
Yes, I accept that, but say you look at the larger and I think say with time now we'll come and have a look at it properly and then
Captain. Time will not allow me to go into a lot of things our kind. In fact, I'm touched by a lot of revelations or the Maya any clarifications that Menya was Sembibrawaka. And I want to believe that a good number of Asante Kotoko supporters and our friends in the media, our Mutie, which I know they listen and they will be using those and some of kind, at the Ayomu programs, at the among what Tinema Ecos was Asante Kotoko. Any management never be or more, I see. So okay, the producers
okay.
It was a detail that you know. I said, made the one bed the next bed 3 months. Made the one bed the next bed 3 months.
The home bed can be because we did the home.
Because I made the home.
Because oh, country.
Oh,
Santa Casa. So being you are Nunsi Bonin.
I
also made the home command. I make can be made the home. The next Obinya. Sika na mfa so obi wo ho santi na meka ze hwe okase mu ye Kobi now because now outside now you were closely monitoring. Okay.
So of course it's in a lot of phases, various aspects, recruitment, coaching, officiating,
revenue generation,
so when it happens this way, it will need an import and what discussing one after the other. So of course a brand share anyhow.
Okay.
The only statement initial one I'm making is they should have come earlier. So Bekaipa Asante Kotoko against Kadiogo. The next week Saturday me about 30 minutes presentation why I felt to say they needed to come out to explain things to supporters. So okay, as at that time, the discussion was around Dr. Ugum exit. The discussion was around Mbela's exit. Mbela was replaced by Mokwala. Dr. Ugum was replaced by Zerbo. And so fast our first game no more against Kadiogo na and Timmy Angleta Momo and Yadia no more. So the discussion was all over. And I felt to say they should have come out earlier to explain to the supporter to come next because I've realized something. So anytime he speaks, Akumaya de Ebafo. And as at that time, that tempest was so power. But one thing I'm observing about him says, Wakasa, do na Akumaya de Ebafo. So I felt say he should have come out to explain why Ogumi na ebia waseko ebia mbela ebia situation no also kwane bo asante kotoko. But ni nyina na ba eba at this stage it seems that the season is almost ending for Asante Kotoko. Those who lost hope and decided not to go to the stadium, they didn't get any explanation that could drive them to stadium. Senibufu for Kadiogo exiting into Wankwa Bisine. It is a normal saya asia Bisine. And I think it's a good communication. Besenka by Intema, it would have done a lot of good to Asante Kotoko. So, brother, okay. My brother, Dr. Ampon, not here.
Okay.
UK, and Dr. Ampon birthday. No, I born again the birthday. It's Doc. We were so happy birthday. When
Dr. Ampon a bar,
Doc Babe,
you're buying American, you're buying Dr. Kevin. Kevin Amponi.
Amponi.
There's only Minyante nka.
Oh, but
okay.
Dr. Amponi no Emily Ashley Prince and Emmanuel and Sa Emam you know and Abema Bako rather than my understand. Yeah, we share Dr. Ampon happy birthday.
Okay, Doc, happy birthday. Jibo.
No pay saw me phone. And them MZ me do me phone that I can say now once I dear mammy. Till me saw me phone around by 5:30. The first message by Eva Penya to me papa no ya boa or send me audio tin as I know him say na ya baba kasa wa and do to and I may share a city ne Madrid game no na man for so tiachi the real game no they were talking about Kotoko menyine bebre but I found the opportunity to see Asante Kotoko various administration is anyoma no unse one thing I've realized and say me menyine na mbe hu Kotoko no there be Kotoko ne be different ne eja ase no nti ekwa na asan na ebu ekwa ase ne ho yesi suro no nti ekwa na efom ne ntimi wait no na ajegu sometimes do say na yadwuma yeyi me one thing I keep on saying is say if you baby na ebeduru ha wo to that time na perform na e radio link achi na e perform na e garden city na ne ma de be pm hello na kwa angel where there you meet a lot of people but one thing I've come to realize we industry me when they say adana make one way or the other at a certain point we to you drew on a Kotoko asema na ye clubs asema when people also criticize media and say a part of the problems are sometimes I think yes YouTube because me mobia so to otie onim say be sometime and na you free ono sometime a problem and into pen na asem because on sometime and you free and tisadia say sometime and na you free and the sadia make kwa time na ya oh yes sir anya sometime na wo ha no but nipadom na edi Asante Kotoko echi no so to that is the problem and people easy forgot so another is you can't be me one thing and I will keep on saying this first na Kotoko so to uyi Herbert na uyi na yawa the young doesn't handle Kotoko Herbert Nanayao stand for a generation. Oba and Mizoto almost a lot of innovation. But the challenges of money and say some supporters doesn't want to accept say we need to build from the scratch before we get to the top.
And accepting change is difficult.
So what did I mention I say? Yem build it from form near from Costro. Ada odi AJ for you be 2 joy 1 na be ko baby na de be brain na no so fa so be na woso. And I was so sad. Said this is the kind of society we live in. Yeah, the eduma etia any central for is to educate. Until the meme can say and some no kind they will get in. You be room na mzutu ya kan ho asem.
Okay.
Ba me eduma you want enough. Ma kan dia to one say I will not sit anywhere to create a story in him. Say me the story beba na you positive negative me measure me her timing. Na me the story na ba. So tell me chana say.
Okay.
But say me ko ka say me nim dia to obi so de. So very serious.
Okay.
Na say me recent year You're free we. Eventually, nothing come on. And they would yenshia na yensolve issue. But as some kind was the reality. Yeah. Of I could have protected the message.
Yeah. At that point.
So what did the mention I say? But as some also.
Yeah, but also. Mami mfa we ntwimna interview siasa na word no je edidi no but I think we have to break it down kakra to find out because we have to analyze, do the cross checking